Sports fans, we welcome you to another edition of San Diego Prep Insider, the official podcast of the CIF San Diego section, but not that that matters in any way, shape, or form. You're here because you like us, or you're not listening because you don't know about us or hate us. Bodie Da Silva from Scorebook Live is here. They are the official digital content provider of all things high school sports. Make sure you download the SB Live Sports app or visit SB Live. The social media is SB Live CA or scorebooklive.com is the website. Tommy Morris is joining us on behalf of people that just updated their computers and are living the struggle that maybe our ancestors would not understand if we tried to explain to them, but is still very much like the struggle. Raymond Brown is also.
See, if I use one of these, like I do with everything else the rest of my life would be easier.
Yeah, no, it's real. Like, you couldn't go back 50 years and explain to somebody like, hey, I accidentally hit update on my computer and had to update my iTunes login cloud. Like, they'd be like, what does that mean? Why is that a struggle? I got
all my notes. Everything's coming straight from my head today.
Raymond Brown is also joining us. He is periodically on this show and every now and then catching strays on Twitter from Tommy Morris, accidentally calling him out. Raymond is I always get yours wrong. You are SD Football.
Yes, sir.
All right, Raymond's SD Football on Twitter. Guys, before we go any further, we have to say thank you, though, to the U.S. Army for all their support. But since we can sneak it in beforehand, before we hit the cut this out and then generically put it in all of the divisions, I want to give a shout out to El Camino for being San Diego in basketball yesterday. That was pretty cool. We'll get to the basketball stuff starting next week. Tommy and Bodie will be back with us. Maybe Aaron joins us again this year. Who knows? Basketball will be back, though. Let's check out a word from our sponsors, and then let's talk all the divisions. Thanks again to the U.S. Army for everything, supporting us all football season long. Just a reminder, this show does keep going after the football season. You can check us out all basketball, baseball, and off season. Guys, let's talk about the Division II football championships because Granite Hills and Ramona are going to be squaring off. Granite Hills, I mean, look, I would be curious to do what the actual hierarchy of ways in which you can beat an opponent goes, like win, victory, dragged,
demolition,
ass, nuked. Like, what is the degree of which this was a victory at 45-8 over Mira Mesa? I would rank that pretty high up there. Like, that is an atomic bombing in terms of a victory there. So a Granite Hills team that is red hot right now, finished the season in almost, if not everybody's top 10 voting, seems really poised for this to maybe be the shortest of all of the discussions that we're going to have in terms of any finals, in that Ramona winning 19-7 over Central last week doesn't make you think that they are particularly like a dominant remote. Like, they're not some titanic juggernaut. They did lose to Fallbrook earlier this season. So there are, there's statistical data to analyze that there are cracks in the armor. And at the same time, though, Ramona, always a tough football team. They were in a finals last year. They are They are led by one of the better coaches in the county. They got the pedigree you would think to hang in any given final situation. I am curious, though, where the rest of you guys fall. Bodie, let's start with you. Is this going to be Granite whooping that ass, or do you see there being a little bit of a game here?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be Granite pretty easily here. They've been my biggest surprise all year, and you look through the schedule, their two losses were to open division teams with Poway and Madison. The Madison game, they were up 12-0 going into the fourth quarter, ended up losing by 3. They're just so solid everywhere you look. I mean, special teams touchdowns, defensive touchdowns. Everything you could look, it just shows that Granite's the pick, and they will be for me. So I like Granite here by a couple touchdowns. Got to give a shout out to Ramona. I did not think, I know most of us did not, that they beat Central last week. That's a huge road win. And for Ramona too, being in the D3 title last year, losing that, but still being able to get back to the D2 title this year, that's a huge deal. It's what you expect out of that program. Coach Baldwin does an excellent job, and I just think it's Granite's year here to be in D2.
Tom Morris, we welcome you back to the world of the living. We hope everything is technologically well with you. What's going on in this game for you?
I got Ramona. No, I just wanted to see the reaction. That was not meant to be a slight. Ramona has had a very impressive season. They have been, in the beginning of the year, we thought this might be a top 10 team. Then they hit a little slump. I will say this. I'm going to pick Granite, but it is interesting to know both teams are 3-2 against common opponents. So they've lost to the same teams. They've beaten the same teams. I don't think this is going to be as big of a blowout as everyone's trying to make it seem like. Granite Hills is just really good. Granite Hills is a team that could compete in Division I, I believe. So that's why I'm going to take them here. But don't think that Ramona is going to lay down. That's not what they do out there in Ramona. And this will be, I think, a 2-possession game. If Granite's not paying attention, Ramona has a chance to sneak up on them kind of in the first half. So they got to be on top of it, because there is a chance here that Granite, given off the last couple of weeks how easy they've had it through the playoffs, that they don't wake up in time for the kickoff. So they got to be awake here, otherwise Ramona's going to sneak up on them. But I like Granite.
Can I point out that Maxwell Turner and Isaiah Jackson, who are their 2 rushing touchdown leaders this season on Granite Hills, both sophomores. So this is also a Granite Hills team that, I get that there is rollover from year to year that you can't really like dive into in high school the way you can in other sports, but you would assume that they will remain good, if not this kind of good, or somewhat improve over the next couple of years. So let's
and to talk more about the sophomores, they have Joaquin Thomas playing defense pretty much exclusively now, who last year was like the leading rusher. So that's how good those 2 guys are, that they took their leading rusher and told him, you know what, we'll put you on defense. You don't have to exert yourself both ways, and it's worked out for them. So that's just a testament to those 2 guys rushing the football.
Yeah, they're going to lose a little bit in terms of the receiving core with graduation, but they have Josh Zander returning next year, who has scored a fair amount of touchdowns for them in the offensive receiving category. So yeah, this is going to be impressive what they can potentially do, but this will be, I think, a good bellwether moment, because it's the cliche, get it done in the finals. So time to, put them into one. But on the serious note, you got to give a huge shout out to Coach Cobbs. I know that he has, over the last couple of years, had some teams that started off hot or had some streaks in there, but then, they take a hard L to Helix, or they drop a big one in the play. Like, he's following through start to finish here, it would seem. Raymond, you're itching and ready to go. So what do you got here?
Yeah, I'm going with Granite Hills for the unanimous pick. I've been following Granite closely for the last couple of years, been attending most of their games. They are so talented on all aspects of the ball. Man, they can beat you in so many ways. It's crazy. Like you said, Joaquin Thomas, leading running back, he can play corner now, because they got like 3 guys who can run the football, and they have 2 quarterbacks. They got a pocket passer and a guy who can scramble, like a Lamar Jackson type of dude. So yeah, man, Ramona, that win at Central is a tough win. Central's a good team, man. I don't know why people sleep on them. They're a great team, and it's hard to go up to it's hard to go up to El Centro and beat them. You're muted, sir.
Stop. That is not a narrative. We've talked about Central all season. KUSI has covered Central. Maffey has written about Central. It's bull if you think that Central's not getting covered. Get out of here with that nonsense.
Nah, they're still getting slept on, man. A lot of those Imperial Valley teams get slept on, man. That's a long drive out there. People don't like to go out there, and it's tough to win out there. So you got to give Ramona props for that. And of course, Coach Baldwin, man, it's hard to bet against him, especially in a championship moment. But yeah, Granite Hills is too talented. They should be in D1. Like that win over Helix was probably one of the most gutsiest wins you'll ever see. So yeah, I'm going with Granite.
There you go. Make sure you download the SB Live Sports app or visit scorebooklive.com to stay up to date on the scores for all of these. Go check out our other videos that we have also talking about all the other divisions, and we'll see you at the games.